Yeah, well, I'm a dad unit to four kids. I have two biological kids from my first marriage, and I helped to raise my two stepkids, and they're all about the same age. The girls are 20 and 21, and the boys are 23 and 25. So all adults now, and both. I'm going to say it was 6 years ago, 5 years ago, around Easter, after my daughter turned 14. So she was raised as split between her mom's place and mine. She came to me and said, I can't live with you anymore because this is unsafe and I can't be myself." And a bunch of other words that sounded very and felt very scripted. I suspected, because I'd been through a very contentious divorce, that this was my ex-wife making her play to take my child full time, and didn't realize what was happening. And my child drew a very solid line, like just one day to the next, stopped talking to me and cut off communication. And it took me about 9 months to get her back into my life, just on a conversation basis, just to be able to, have a cup of tea or something together, or a snack after school. And then after she graduated, well, it became very apparent shortly after that she was changing her pronouns on social media.
Oh,
So I suspected there was something going on there. And one of her mentors is a notorious trans activist by the name of Amanda Knox. And Amanda Knox, not the same Amanda Knox from Italy or Portugal.
that's right.
Jete Knox wrote a book called "Love Lives Here" about her son, who came out as transgender, and her husband, who is an adult AGP. Uh, Mark became Zoe, and when my daughter was young, she was in Amanda's daycare. And so this Amanda, with big following, affirmed and love bombed my child's changing gender online. The school affirmed it, and I came to realize after the fact that likely the school, in some capacity, had suggested that my to my daughter that she cut me out. So
Wow.
there was a secret transition, and now, for legal reasons, I don't know if that's true, right? I all the patterns seem to point to that, especially consistent with the kinds of policies that we're learning about broadly.
Yeah.
My daughter graduated 2 years ago. She came to me and said, "I've started HRT."
What
And
is HRT?
hormone replacement therapy. It's another phrase they use for testosterone or wrong sex hormones. This was a girly girl. She was, pretty in pink and frilly dresses and bubblegum pink bedroom, and a very trait typical young girl, creative, highly literate, incredibly intelligent, cuddly and compassionate, all the the feelings uh, uh, of a trait typical girl. And then as she got into her early teens, this kind of took over, and I suspect social media had a big role to play there. So as a loving dad, I asked my daughter about the costs versus benefits of deciding to take hormones. What's the science behind this? How is it going to help you? How is the benefits going to outweigh the risks? And I'd done a fair bit of reading already by that point, knowing the tremendously negative impacts that these hormones have on children's bodies. And that was really the last civil conversation I had with my child. So that was 26 months ago. Um, and and then I was, kind of under the radar, like a lot of us are. CDs here to protect, confidences and anonymity. And I was anonymous for a while, and then I met Billboard Chris, who came to Ottawa, and I joined him and one other person in a protest in 2021. And we were mobbed at the incitement of the Ottawa School Board, a municipal councillor by the name of Catherine McKenney, MDP, MPP Joel Harden, kind of notorious figures. They whipped up the Angry Rainbow mob, about 300 people on three, and we were mobbed in the streets. And I walked away from that, and then I was doxxed. So kids around my daughter, my name was out, and I figured, okay, well, permission's been granted here. I can speak publicly because they've made the choice to out me as a gender critical dad. So last year I ran for Ottawa School Board. to raise awareness, and met people all over Ontario and all over BC. Part of my decision to run for school trustee was inspired by meeting Barry when I was visiting BC early last year, and meeting Jim and learning more about what's going on in the schools from their perspectives. And we've created, I think, very strong trust networks across the country now. And we want to expose what's going on in schools.